đây.
Đây là
Đây khoác vào.
Ok.
Được chưa? Trông bà ấy. Bà cho bà đấy, ok.
cho em đứng lên bậc cao một chút. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello. Welcome back to Stumper Shenanigans. I'm Stumper, and today we are at one of the most important places in Northwest Vietnam. Dare I say, the entire country of Vietnam. We are actually standing within the walls of the A1 cemetery. In 1954, there was a remarkable battle between the Vietnamese and the French, and it was the final frontier. It was years of French occupation, and the Vietnamese finally had enough, and with their fortitude, they drove out the French in the battle right here in Dien Bien Phu. This cemetery is dedicated to those men who gave their lives in freedom, the defense of freedom, and valor and bravery. One of the most important things in Vietnamese culture from a historical standpoint is to revere those that have passed on, to commemorate and celebrate their lives, and to give thanks for those that you've been in contact with here on this earth. Shrines like this are common throughout Southeast Asia, and particularly here in Vietnam, where incense is burned as a lasting memory of those who have passed. There's an altar here where fruits and treats, alcohol, gifts are placed as a way to remember those who have passed. And here at this incredible cemetery for the commemoration of the A1 battle that took place here in 1954, the Vietnamese love the Vietnamese, and it's a way to honor, to reflect, and to bring remembrance to those who are loved. Here at A1 Cemetery in the heart of Dien Bien Phu, right in the center of town, holds 644 tombstones. 644 places of remembrance of individuals who lost their lives in that tremendous battle in 1954. And out of all these faceless and nameless individuals who gave up so much, there was 4 men in particular who were recognized by name in the cemetery for outstanding acts of courage and valor. Let me tell you about them. This is the gravestone of Phan Dinh Ngoc, a man full of bravery. When his team was taking heavy artillery fire, he stood up and charged forward to the opening port where all the enemy gunfire was coming forward. In doing so, he gave up his life as a martyr for the rest of his troops, and yet it was his act of valor that ultimately led to one of the major victories here in Dien Bien Phu, because without his act of courage and valor going forward and in essence making himself a human shield to protect the rest of his troops, who then went forward because of that advantage and attacked the enemy. Incredible. Herein lies To Vinh Dien, one of the other amazing martyrs from that incredible Dien Bien Phu fight, victory, war here in upper northwest Vietnam. For this individual, this man here, with his troops, they were trying to pull a huge artillery gun uphill, but in these foothills and hills surrounding us, it was very wet and muddy. And every time the troops tried to advance and move this gun up forward, it would slide down the hill. So Dien threw his body down against the wheels to prevent the slipping and the sliding of the artillery machine gun, which survived, but he unfortunately did not. Another man here recognized by the government of Vietnam as a true hero of war. What's remarkable about this cemetery, the A1 cemetery in the heart of Dien Bien Phu, it's so peaceful and tranquil and virtually quiet here. We're just outside these walls of the cemetery. You have the hustle and the bustle of the city with the motorbikes, the cars, the trucks, the honking, and yet inside here, a place of serenity, a place of peace, and equivalent, I suppose, to somewhat Arlington Cemetery in America, where a place where the fallen soldiers are here memorialized and remembered.
Ông chịu đi trong có cái máy tưởng nó mà chịu. Thế bà, đây đừng sát đây.
Photo.
Đây, đây.
Đây là
Đây, khoác vào.
Oh,
Đấy.
okay.
Được chưa? Trông bà ấy. Bà cho bà đấy, ok.
Nó thích áo dài Việt Nam.
Kém tao.
chị
Ôi, như kiểu cẩn cái tí ấy. Ôi. Ông là cảm ơn chị. Nhưng mà chỉ 4 mấy.
Mai 60
Sao môi.
59 59 đang cả lợi bằng
Ở bên một tiếng nhiều người ta biết.
Hai môi nào? Hai môi là. Còn bán.
còn bạn Pháp à? Bên Pháp à? Mỹ, nước Pháp à? Mỹ
Ô mi.
Đó nhá, Hà Nội nhá.
Bye.
So along this wall are listed all the individuals who died in that battle there in 1954. The battle between the Vietnamese and the French. And though the names are here, the identification of the bodies was not yet determined or actually found out. These are the men's names on both sides of this corridor listed here in this cemetery. It's really cool. It takes two to tango in every war. There's two sides, and we saw the result of the death and the cemetery they won. Now we're present here also in Dien Bien at the strongest bunker in Indochina. In 1954, this is where the French command post was, covered in 4 layers of barbed wire. And as we walk around, I'm going to show you the most strongest bunker that was known at that time. This is the original corrugated metal. Look like this is the original corrugated metal. What you see, what looks like sandbags, was actually recreated with cement to make it look like what this bunker originally looked like in 1954. The command post for the French military, for the French commander, who after 56 days of the battle here at Dien Bien Phu, ultimately they said that's it. They gave up. They were way outnumbered, and the Vietnamese were victorious. Let's go inside and take a look. So as we walk into this bunker that's completely fortified, where the generals stayed, slept, ate, there was a radio room, 4 rooms actually, where they ate, where they had their command post with their operations meeting, the maps, where they slept. This was, again, considered one of the strongest fortified bunkers in Indochina. Let's take a look. As we walk through this, you can't tell the temperature change, but it's at least 20 degrees hotter underground and under this bunker here. And there's 4 rooms within this bunker, all fortified so that the enemies, the Vietnamese, would not be able to attack. Ultimately, 56 days later, this stronghold was taken possession by the Vietnamese. Let's continue on. This is where they would have their meetings. These metal chairs here were actually restored from the original metal. This is where they had their command post trying to fight the Vietnamese. And we walk through further, where they had their radio room, their sleeping quarters, where the kitchen and where they would eat. And again, it's much hotter down here than up above. It seems rather small and short, and yet this was where all the French armies were given their directions during this war. Ultimately, the general failed miserably and was captured and spent 4 months in captivity, along with, I think, 20,000 French troops. Ultimately, letters were sent to Ho Chi Minh, the leader of Vietnam at that time, and under leniency, all of the held captives were released and sent back to France. This site has been preserved by the Vietnamese government today. It's remarkable if you think about how amazing a place like this is, that it can be preserved for a sense of remembrance of what took place on that fateful day after 56 days of battle, that ultimately the Vietnamese were victorious, and then to be able to see what this looked like and see where the French ultimately gave up, it's remarkable. It is remarkable that a site like this can still be preserved, what, 80 years later? It's really incredible, and yet thanks to the Vietnamese government, they have left this as a symbol and a sign of the determination of the Vietnamese people. I love it, it's so amazing. What we see here is a picture of this bunker, and when the Vietnamese conquered, they put up a red flag with the yellow star, indicating they were victorious, but there was some writing on that flag, which was amazing. And the slogan which they wrote was, "Determined to fight, determined to win." I think when that's your motto, when that's your mentality, determined to fight, determined to win, you're not going to lose. On May 7th, 1954, at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, the Vietnamese army crossed this bridge, crossing the Mung Dang River, and ultimately captured and conquered the French army. Incredible piece of history here, right in the center of town. Incredible. This bridge stood as the last stand where the Vietnamese crossed this river and ultimately led straight to the victory here in Dien Bien Phu. If you're still watching, I'm super stoked, and hopefully that you are, to get this great history lesson today from Dien Bien with A1 Hill. I'm going to drop all the descriptions, all the links in the descriptions below. So check out the history if you're a big history buff. Check this out. Incredible story from the history here in Vietnam. As we approach an area where the Vietnamese dropped a 1,000-pound bomb on the French, and we're going to see that huge crater in just a moment, we begin to see some of these trenches and other bunkers that were developed here in Dien Bien, where the French were attempting to be secure and ultimately hide from the Vietnamese. One of the remnants here that was destroyed, some of the French artillery, French tanks here that was destroyed by the Vietnamese army April 1st, 1954. What you see here is the remnants of a 1,000-pound bomb crater that was sent from the Vietnamese, courtesy of the Vietnamese government, to obliterate the French. What's so strategic about the placement of this bomb here amongst the French quarter is that the trenches that surround this area, this was really a stronghold for the French army, and the Vietnamese, point blank, decided, let's take it out. May 7th, 1954, 4:30 in the morning, kaboom. And the French were shook. As we stand here on the top of A1 Hill, you can see where we began our journey here at the cemetery, which is right across the street. It's remarkable that the Vietnamese took this hill so powerfully, right basically where the whole French army was at that time. Remarkable. Anybody have a good trophy case? Vietnam does. Check it out. So the story of A1 Cemetery and the battle here at Dien Bien Phu in 1954 between the Vietnamese and the French cannot be complete without taking you to the monument at the top of the 320 stairs. And so this evening at sunset, we're going to take you up top, show you the beautiful monument, and continue this journey. Depicted on the wall mural behind me is a depiction, an amazing depiction of the battle that took place here many years ago, decades ago. Always a reminder to the people here at Dien Bien Phu how resilient, how brave, how strong they are in fighting against the French. Let's go up top. So 320 stairs doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, it's a lot. I was gonna say Mo Cham. I wish it was Mo Cham. That's only 100. But my Moi, 320. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello. As we begin to crest to the top, we begin to see the statue at the top of the A1 Hill. We also come across some young people dancing and figuring out their moves. So we have here at the top, almost the top of A1 Hill, here in Dien Bien Phu, is an incredible statue and monument representing the victory that the Vietnamese had over the French. Let's go up. There's only about 20 steps left. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. As we make our way up the 320 steps, there are also 3 landing places or 3 breaks within those 320 steps, representing the 3 attacks that the Vietnamese made against the French army during that historic battle. This monument stands as a tribute to the men who laid down their lives in the name of freedom for their fellow Vietnamese and the country of Vietnam. And in fact, this battle is known as the shaking of the world, or the resounding of the 5 continents and the shaking of the world. They did it. Thanks so much for watching our presentation of the A1 historic battle here in Dien Bien Phu. It's a beautiful place. It's an incredible story. It's a place that we now call home here in Northwest Vietnam. Thank you so much for watching, and please join us again as we continue to find out new stories, new tales here from Vietnam on Stumper Shenanigans. I'm Stumper. And who are you?
My name's Chi.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.